Bert,
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Real Talk, Real Money with Dennis and Ian. And tonight in the studio, we have with us John Mair, no stranger to athletics, um, a former past Olympian, also a schoolboy coach. But with Dennis here on the platform, I'll let Dennis give you more detail into the life of Sir Muir, who is here with us. Sir Muir, we just want to say welcome to the platform. And Dennis, we give you the opportunity to give him a good invite to the platform.
good
Yeah,
evening, gentlemen, and thanks for having me.
yes, John Mair. So let me just tell people a little bit about who you are. So we know you're a veteran athlete and also a coach. We know that you're a former member of the renowned Bowls of Lightning Track Club. You used to call it CAS, now UTEC. We know you hold a level 3 coaching certificate from World Athletics. And we know also that you have competed in the 1988 Summer Olympic Games. Um, you have competed in a lot of major events representing Jamaica at the World Championship, the Pan American Games, the Commonwealth Games, the Goodwill Games, the World Indoor Championship, the CSE Games, and I think one is missing. I would say the World University Games. I haven't seen that one, um, but again, congratulations to you for being recognized for your contribution as a high school track and field coach at the ISA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletic Championship over the years. And I noticed that in the upcoming season, you will be coaching at Woolmer's Boys and will be in charge of the sprint program. So I just want to say welcome to Real Talk, Real Money with Ian and Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis, my Olympian teammate, and Ian, how you doing, man? It's a pleasure to
We're
be
doing
on your
good enough.
It's a pleasure to be on your program. I find it a bit honoring that I was called upon to be a part of your broadcast.
Appreciate it. Yes, you're welcome. All right, so we're going to jump in, right? We're going to talk a little bit about your career journey and a little bit about your background, right? So we want you to take us back to the beginning. What first sparked your passion for coaching? What is it that make you say, okay, I don't want to go into one of these conglomerate companies and work? You just decided that you want to do coaching. What was it that sparked your interest?
What really drive me in coaching was when I was attending West Virginia University, and I would always, my brother attended West Virginia with me, Courtney Mair. He used to be at Kingston College. And in the evenings at training, we'd always do a lot of core work, abdominals. And the American kids would always join us and said, the Jamaican gut busters. And they would always come to us for information and support. And not only that, when I came back home from the States, I was talking to one, Mr. Ian Forbes, the first vice president of the J3 of our track association. And he said to me that Jamaica College has a new coach, which is my past coach. And I should go by and speak with him. And when I went up to Jamaica College, I sat there just to meet the gentleman. But it was like I knew him for years. And we sat and we had a long chat all day. That's how I got really, really baptized in coaching. Then when I started coaching, I was encouraged by an insurance salesman to come and sell insurance. But I told him no. I find a lot of joy and benefit in coaching youngsters, especially when you go into the inner cities and find the poor youngsters and see what can become of them in life. So I found a lot of pleasure doing coaching. So that is why I have stuck with coaching for so long.
Mm. So, all right.
All right,
So,
Sir Muir.
can you walk? You have a question? Go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, I don't want him get too far. So Sir Muir, looking back at your Olympic journey, what lesson did you carry from that global stage that still guide how you coach these young athletes today? So we can't let
Well,
out that you're Olympian,
that's so true. That's so true. But it has helped me a lot. I never dreamt of being an Olympian. After leave, my father was a policeman, inspector of police, and I would always clean his police buttons, shine them with the silver, and clean his shoe. And I always said to myself, I love the police force. I'm going to join the force after high school. But then when I was offered a scholarship and I went overseas, I I got caught up in other things, in just loving track and field, and it drove me on to become a fairly decent sprinter, where I was able to make my country's team. And being an Olympian is a great joy, and it's an accomplishment. Makes me feel good, but it teaches me a lot. Sometimes when I am relating to the youngsters, I know how to really break it down and to take it step by step.
Hmm. Good. So
Thank
in
you.
other words, you bring your experience from not only college, but your experience from professional track over
Yeah,
into high school
that
training.
right. And not only that, when I became an Olympian, I came back to Jamaica and I was still training, and I was trained by Jamaica College, and I never let the schoolboys felt as if they were in any less than I was. I mean, a boy could run over and borrow one of my spikes, and I'd feel very good in lending one to them. So
Mm,
I've always been on a kind of same level with the youngsters. I never let them feel like they're none less than I am.
yeah. So let's stay on that a little bit. So who were some of your early mentors? Who were some of your early mentors, or maybe figures who influenced you, your coaching philosophy? Is that something that you take from your coach, or you develop your own philosophy for
No,
coaching?
no. As I said, I was told by Ian Forbes to go and meet the coach, and the coach there was Michael Clark. He had just left from St. Jago, winning coach, and
Mm.
he's my mentor. He's the one that really taught me, baptized me into coaching.
So
He was one.
you say you learn all your coaching philosophy from him.
No, not Michael, not no, but he was the first. And then I came across people like Dennis Johnson, who guru
Mm.
in track and field coaching. I was coached by Mr. Mills, Glenn Mills, I
Mm.
and Patrick Haynes, who coached me in high school. They were my early mentors.
Okay. So one other thing I want to talk about is that Jamaica has consistently produced world class. I just go over that. Jamaica has consistently produced world class sprinters. What do you believe makes our system so successful? What is it that it will make our system so successful?
Dennis, one, we start from a very early age. I mean, we
Mm.
have kindergarten, which is the baby stage. That's from there they start up to the prep school, primary school, on to the high school. And as you both know, that our schoolboy and schoolgirl championship, it is when we have that here in Jamaica, it is a 30,000 crowd that fulfill the stadium, and it's very competitive. The children learn to be comfortable with the crowd cheering on, and it drives them on until they become senior athletes and are able to help themselves out there. So when they go to the major meets, it is not frightening. They are used to seeing a large number of people cheering in the stands.
So would you say that the landscape of track and field in Jamaica over the past decade has been changing? Do you think it's changing?
It is because there is something that I am totally against, and I am totally against when these scouts and come around and take these kids out of high school at an early age. Don't give them a chance to mature and develop. And sometimes there are some of these kids that haven't even done the basic CXC's exam. So if they go out, they sign this contract, if they go out there and they happen to get hurt and the career is done right there, where are they going to turn? They're not qualified. So I'm totally against that. And I think we here take it for granted that as we produce a good sprinter this year, by next year there's another sprinter, another jumper. So we take it for granted. We are so talented
Yes,
that
I want to
each
talk.
and every
I
year
want
we
to
produce. If you look at what we have now in our male and field, these young sprinters coming up. We don't know how and when and what are we going to do with them.
Yes, I just want to make sure that we are clear on when you talk about the recruiters, are you talking about the Jamaican recruiters, or are you talking about international recruiters like from the United States?
Both local and international. Both local and international. And at the end of the day, who benefits? Not the athlete that benefits. It is these recruiters who come in and take these athletes to put some money in their pocket. And as I said, if injury hits any of these athletes, that's it for them. Can kiss it bye bye.
So,
All right.
wouldn't it be in a situation like that? How do you handle a situation like that as a coach, as a mentor, as a coach? Wouldn't it be something that falls a little bit in your perimeter to say, well,
No, coaches sometimes just have to sit back because some of these parents, the recruiters come along and they dangle that little change in front of the money, and the parents gravitate and they're gone. Your coach can't tell them anything. I mean, they have waited 4 years. Child is in fourth form or 7, 8, 10th grade, just to wait another year or two. They start complaining that boy, them hungry and things not they're poor, and that's it. The coaches don't have any control over that when it reaches that stage.
all right, so
All right. Mirror. A quick one before you leave that ground here, because you mentioned something about injuries, and when they come and they scout, take them out so early before they fully develop. But
Right.
now, you as a coach, and we know that injuries are common in sprinting. What are some of the strategies you personally use to keep your athletes healthy and also to prevent the burnout?
Well, my brothers, let me tell you something. You can say so much and do so much, but these athletes, for some reason, they don't like to warm up properly. They don't like to stretch. They don't like to cool down, and they don't like to stretch after cool down. So you have to be in their backs just 24/7. And when you have a squad of 50 and 60 athletes, it's hard to be monitoring everybody. And you see, we are living in a different era, different times. When we were growing up, we had leaders. We had people who would turn around and say, come on, let's go, let's do that, and look out for each other. We don't have that anymore. Everybody's all selfish, all about themselves. So it's not as easy as back then. It's real hard.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ian. You have another question for him?
No, you go ahead.
All right. So I know earlier I asked you about how the landscape of track and field has been changed in Jamaica, right?
Yes.
I kind of want to touch on I don't know if it's a sensitive topic, but we talk about it here. We noticed that just recently in the media and in the papers, we have athletes that take up offer for other country. How does that? What do you have to say about that? They want to migrate to different countries. What is your take?
Let me tell you something, boss. I'm back in Jamaica from 1987. I came back to Jamaica. Right? Listen. These young men or these young athletes, I agree with them 100%. Because at the end of the day, you have to talk about after track and field. What's next? Right? I cannot go into the bank and tell them that, hey, I'm an Olympian. No, that don't work. So they have to make sure that this is what they're doing. This is their job. So they have to make themselves comfortable, and they have to make themselves ready for what's left in life. And if my country is not, I mean, looking out for the athletes, why not? Somebody else wants to do well and wants to help them. Hey, more power to them.
So we know, I know that that Asafa Powell had came out earlier prior to what transpired, and he had mentioned something about his kid, and he got a lot of backlash for that.
Right,
But then
right.
move forward, then we have all these athletes that wanted to migrate to a different country, and
Don't get me wrong, you know. Don't get me wrong, and I mean, hey, Jamaica is it in a way. We love our Jamaica and we love our Jamaica, but that can't work. That alone can't work, you know. I mean, whenever I used to go to the major games and I see my flag being hoisted and the national
Mhm.
anthem being played, bring tears to my eyes,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
right? But as I said, have to prepare yourself for down the road. What's next, you know?
So would it be fair to say, okay, so maybe I should ask you, what is it that you think that that Jamaica can do to support these athletes, so that we don't have a domino effect? Because
We
can
don't.
afford to see a domino effect happening.
It doesn't have to be the kind of money that other countries are offering, you know.
Hmm.
You know, but something, just something.
Something.
You're a gold, you're a medalist, and you come back to your country. Offer something substantial, you know. I mean, even even sometimes these athletes finish at the major games, and sometimes not even well done, not even that you get. It's like it shows some appreciation because it's not
Mhm.
easy. It's not easy to be out there in the sun and rain and stressing your body and all of that. And at the end of the day, not even thanks. Come on, man. But
All right.
as I said, I am not sure. I almost know that if this thing was happening during my time of running, I would have been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been gone.
Sir Muir, here's a question I'm gonna ask. It may be a challenging and difficult one, but probably not for you. The reason why I said that is that what if this same effect start to happen
Hold on a second.
along with
Hold on a
our
second.
coach?
There's a flight going overhead. Just a second. I don't know if it's coming over to you in the States, but hold on a second. All right, go ahead now. Go ahead.
Well, you could do, you can also mute your mic in at the time while we're talking. So what I'm saying, what if this same thing that is happening among our athletes, it start to happen among the coaches? Because not every coach is as decorated like you. So what if those coaches who went to GC faster, and they do their program, but they didn't get drafted in a regular high school that is recognized at Boys Champs, probably one of the local schools, but yet still they are skilled enough. They represent Jamaica at a high level, so they have good experience. Do you see that coming forth that it could also affect our coaches? And what will you do?
No, but coaches have been offered. You know, coaches. I mean, we had coaches in where we have coaches in India right now that have been drafted. There was one in Saudi, one of those oil-rich countries, and there are coaches in Cayman right now. So coaches are being drafted, but it's not being publicized.
Oh.
Okay.
So we're not just losing our athletes, we're also losing the
Coaches.
mentors and the trainers, and the coaches also.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Even our massage therapists, they are recruiting our massage therapists, right, left, right, and center. They're coming after the Jamaicans.
Wow, 'cause I guess that's the gold mine in Jamaica.
Yep, yes, yep. Someone sent me something the other day from it wasn't Bahrain. We even had someone at Bahrain the other day and he came back home. And someone sent me something the other day that they're recruiting Jamaicans to Saudi Arabia to coach high school.
Mhm.
Yeah. We anything we touch, turn gold, so hey, they want us badly.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that we need to act fast in terms of getting our program together where our athletes want to stay, our coaches want to stay, our trainers, our massage therapists,
Well, well,
physiotherapists
if
want
your
to stay in Jamaica.
well,
We have to do something quickly.
well, if your teachers are leaving and our nurses are leaving, so why the coaches won't leave?
My coach will leave. Exactly.
Hmm.
You
Coaches
know,
have family and bills to pay too, you know. Yeah,
yeah.
man.
I think with these athletes changing allegiance, I think it's a wake up call, and I just hope that they take the J3s and the JOA, they take it seriously, and also the Jamaican public and the government to take that more seriously. Uh, so,
Yeah.
so, so the question I want to ask you then, John, is what are some of the biggest challenges you face as a coach? Whether it is resources or the facilities or recognition, what would you say?
Could you repeat that for me, please?
Yeah, what are some of the biggest challenges you face as a coach?
Uh, sometimes it's a parent, it's a parent
Mm,
or parents. Sometimes they are the major challenges, and they tend to, some of them tend to just leave the child up onto you, and you have to be the father figure, the mother figure, everything. And sometimes you identify certain things, and they try to tell you, like I was thinking today, and I remember back then I was at a particular school, and I suspected that the youngster was smoking ganja. And I watched him for a while, and then one morning I was waiting, and when he came, I said, "Come here." I said, "Let me smell your fingers." And when I smelled the fingers, I could have smelled the weed scent. And I said to
mhm,
him, I said, "Yo, you're smoking ganja coming to school, man." He said to me, "No, sir. I was at the bus stop and a man was smoking and he wanted to time lace and he gave me this spliff to hold." Right? So I called the youngster's mother and I told her that, "Mommy, the boy looked like he messing with weed and thing." And her thing was, "Coach, oh, you must say that about my boy, not no ganja smoker, but that man." And she carried on, and that was it. And the boy happened, they caught him at school smoking, and he was expelled from school. So
mm,
these are the kind of things. But other than that, I have, luckily for me, knock wood, I coached at Jamaica College. I went to Veer. I then went to Heidel, St. Jago. And these schools that I'm calling, the resources are not limited. So I never
mhm.
had much problem. The only thing is GC was a bit, because when you're a head coach, you have a lot of responsibilities. I try and I tell myself I don't want to be in any head coach position anymore. I just want to be free. I do my good job, what I have to do, finish do what
Mhm.
I'm doing, and I head out. You don't have to be hanging around and making sure. And parents
Yeah, the
calling me,
kids,
said
yeah,
Tom is not home as yet, and no, that's a head coach job. But other than that, everything has been good for me.
that's nice. Good.
All right, John. You mentioned something a while ago. All these schools that you have coached so far, they are powerhouses when it comes on to athletic and boys champs and girls champs. So now you go into Woolmans. What plan do you have to make Woolmans, you know, top out the top school?
Well, let me tell you, the Woolman's does not recruit heavily. As you know, it's academics they really deal with. I mean, all the schools deal with academics, but um,
The
the
focus.
other schools, the top schools, they will recruit like maybe 15 to at least 20 first formers, which are we call class 4 athletes. Woolman's will only take maybe two boys, right? So it's not easy without the numbers. It is not easy to compete with those top schools, right?
Mhm.
Um, but we are planning to come and finish in the top 5 or even the top 4 come next season. Be competitive on the track, not just show, but be competitive on the track in some events, or most events.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
So if you
And
could
if you
change,
had a chance to mention a few names of some of the top athletes that you would have coached that have went on to represent Jamaica, could you give us a few of those big names? We'll give them a shout out.
Or Embarrass me, man. I never coach in the big names, man. Uh, 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 all right. You,
Yeah.
who should I say now? Uh, big names. Who are the big names?
From
Uh,
from uh, from JC or KC.
all right. For Veer, no man. I used to work with Winston. I don't know if you know Winston Barnes. I worked with a guy named Wakar Acosta who still has the class 3 800 records from way back. Um, I um, I had when I went to VA, I had the pleasure of working with what's her name, Cherika Jackson,
Mm.
um,
Big
Brittany
name.
Anderson, Brittany Anderson. I don't know if you knew her. She was a sprint hurdler and world championship silver medalist. Uh, uh, right now, this girl running Nikisha Price. She uh, I worked with her. You know, she broke the national record last year for 50. I mean, 48 seconds. Amar
Mm.
Brown, who is a sprint hurdler now runs for MVP, and Anjanette Knight, 4 hurdler. And
There
I
were
don't
whole heap of names that there were whole heap of names that boss.
You know,
know.
can't book up me right now, man. Boy, sorry, I asked.
A whole heap
I
of
don't
names
want to
that
tell you to. I want to tell you to this guy that used to run for England, Nathaniel. Nathaniel.
mm.
I used to coach him at JC. He runs for England.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Don't tell me say he's born Jamaica now, do you know?
No.
Okay,
Englishman, but he came down and attended JC. But I
okay.
worked with a few. Yeah, man. I went to Penrelease and 2 time 4x4 champions back to back with the
Nice.
girls. So I've had a fair amount of success, and one of my major achievement is a guy in well, his name slipped me, man. He got him from Denby High running 50 point, and I was able to bring him down to 46 seconds. And
Wow.
he went away on a scholarship and died. Uh,
Oh no.
Oh.
I- he had left me. I went to KC as they always do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I worked with a good amount of athletes.
Well, thanks for your service, man, and what you have been doing, what you continue to do, because we have seen we're Jamaican, we represent well, whether it's them starting out at Boys Jam, you know, going on to character games, you know, going on to World Juniors, you know, we have seen where the Jamaica flag have been flown high, and then when you take it to
Yeah,
the international level, you see in both have left a mark that no other athletes can, I don't think, can erase. You know, look at
not in
Shelly
our
and
lifetime.
Fraser and
Not
Sherika
in
and the
our
whole of
lifetime.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
boss.
in our
not.
lifetime.
Yep. But this is where it started, champs. You know, from the
Absolutely.
basic school to the prep school, primary school, on to champs, and that's where it starts. You know,
So if there's one thing that you could change in the Jamaican track and field for the youth in the youth system, what would that be?
in what system?
Yeah,
New, the
youth.
same old system. Olympian Blake. You know that. What kind of new system? I'm not afraid for talking about. Same old system.
So but all right. So that's why we're having this discussion. What is it that you would change? What is it that you would change?
Is get some people that are knowledgeable, real knowledgeable, and know about the athletes and can run a nice association and make sure that the athletes' interests are at heart. You know, simple.
Mhm. Yeah.
As I said, we take things for granted because we think that because we can just well, I call it make. You can make a sprinter in no time. As one gone, one come, one gone, you know. But
Mhm.
we need to put things in place. One of my things is we have all these top high school athletes, and when they get hurt, some of them are from some of the non-traditional schools. There's no money, and the athletes stay there. All them have to do is go got ice. No physiotherapy, nothing like that, and they stay there, and we lose top athletes like that all the time. Why we don't set up why this association don't set up somewhere where there's a a home for these kids, so the school can send the athlete there to be treated. That's nobody
Mhm.
care. Nobody cares because John Mair run past today and tomorrow. Mr. Blake him come and him run past too. So we don't need John. John can go on. You understand me? Yeah,
Mhm.
man.
And this has been happening for decades.
For
This is
decades, the
just
same,
starting.
the same old, nothing changes, man.
Nothing
You know?
changes. Yeah, and
Dennis,
yeah.
Dennis, probably between you and Mr. Mir, and because you touch on that topic, somebody get injured and them just give them regular
Hold on,
ice,
hold
no
on, hold
physio.
on. Ian, hold on now. You have said Dennis and you have said Mr. Mair. So why you can't say John?
We're not here, Ian. We're not here. You're not here, Ian.
Ian, and I'm hearing you. Say John, man. John, man. You make me sound like me old. I'm old.
Right, John,
Yes,
and Dennis.
yes, yes,
I'm
Ian.
just saying this. You make mention of like an athlete get injured and so forth, and we don't have the necessary facility. We don't have
Right,
the program that to care for them and so forth.
right.
And
Yes.
I want to take it way back. There was an athlete back in my days now, where they are split. And this guy named Ali Watson. I thought Ali Watson would have
From
been the
Calabar.
Usain Bolt up back then. You know, and it's like him get one injury, we don't hear nothing more about Ali Watson. Ali Watson 1, 2, 4. Any race you give him, he could just run out and just win it.
Mhm.
Don't I
Yeah.
remember when he ran that 400 and Mr. McKinley, Herb McKinley was his coach. So it's the best thing. And I remember it. That was it. That was it after. No more Ali Watson.
Yeah, he drop off of the radar, man. Such
Yep.
a good
Yep.
athlete. And even Rudolph Mighty.
Exactly. Well, Rudolph was a different case. Rudolph was just indisciplined. Downright indisciplined.
Yeah.
You know him, young Blake. You know him, man. You know what I'm talking about.
No, and
Talented youngster, but I think one of the things that I thought true of Rudolph is that Rudolph was spoiled. And this is one of the things also
right.
is that when we have these young athletes, some past students and fanatics come around and let them feel like them reach,
Mm-hmm.
like they have
Mm-hmm.
achieved. And this that it just get to them head and that is it. You don't hear much of them after that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know we interviewed Daniel England on here too, and I think he had his own experience as well. Um, yeah, but you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
man.
When
Yep.
when you decide to design your training program, um, do, do you design your training program based on the athlete's potential, or you just give all the athletes the same workout?
No. Like I mean, the younger ones, like the class 3 and the first year 2, they will get less than second year 2 and the class 1 boys. You know, as well as class 3 and first year 2 boys. They don't lift weights. They don't go into the gym. They don't enter the gym at all. Only second year 2 and class 1. As I said, it all depends. It all depends on the individual and the structure of the individual, how they are built. What do I give them as a workout,
Hmm.
and how they feel when they after class they come up for training, how they feel. You know. Yeah.
So, well, I think that we know that that is very important, and as a professional athlete and coach, you will agree with me that mental preparation is also important in an athlete's development. Uh, how do you make sure that these athletes are mentally prepared for big events? Is it that you take them to smaller level meets, or how do you do that? What do you do?
Well, usually what I do is I sit with them and I have a talk with them, ask them, get their feedback on how they feel. Um, as you know, back then, from some schools, when some boys see certain schools, certain colors, they start to get all nervous and they beat themselves even before they go out there to compete. So we just have to let them know that, hey, you are just as talented as any of these boys that are out there. You know, just go out there, execute, and do whatever you're taught in training. You know, so and I even keep telling them, so listen, if you fail to show up at training, It is like fail to showing up at class. So when exams come, you're gonna fail. So this is it now. You fail to show up at training. Now it's time to compete. You're not going to well because you haven't been to training. So
Mhm.
these are the things. Just have to sit and talk with them and get their feedback on how they feel.
Okay. So I mean, it seems like as a coach, I know you mentioned it earlier that some of these athletes you have to be their guardian, you have to be their
Everything,
mother,
everything to
father,
them, everything,
everything.
everything.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So you wear many hats.
yeah. You see, one of the things too, when I was going to JC, I was, I left Meadowbrook and went to JC. And the day I stepped into JC, when I was going to Meadowbrook, I had to find my own, I had to find my own gear. Believe me, man. I had to find my own gears. I had to go to everywhere and order my stuff and pay for it. And then my brother would have to send running shoe for me from overseas. Now, when I went to JC, as I stepped there, the manager of the team took a sweatsuit out and said, "The birdie told me that you're coming here." And I was kitted with a suit. And then I had a coach named Patrick Haynes. You know him, you're also supposed to know him, Dennis, right? I
Mm,
had Patrick,
mhm.
who Patrick had a good link with Western Sports, a sporting goods store in
Yes.
Harpertree with Mr. Carl Chang. And every 3 weeks, I would go down to Mr. Chang and get myself a Nike waffle track shoe. So I know what it is to look out for the athletes, and I know that whenever they are well taken care of, they're contented, and you can get 100% out of them, right?
Yes. Hmm.
I remember going to the pen release, and we were the favorite because we had beaten Camperdown. In every time we met Camperdown, Mid Island at Beer, all the meets would beat Camperdown in 4x1. So we were the favorite at pen release. And then when we got to pen release, Mr. Mills from Camperdown was Camperdown at the time. He changed the relay around. He put Raymond Stewart on the back stretch. Raymond was always anchoring. So he moved Raymond and put Raymond on the back stretch. And Raymond opened up on the back stretch. So we came a close second to Camperdown. And I remember my coach Shane said to me that hey John, them boy they won't listen now. I'm gonna buy them burger and we're going to go eat steak. And I remember telling him, I said, boy coach, if the team can't eat steak, me eat burger with them, And that's the type of person I am, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? If it can't work for all of us, hey, because I think they all did what they could have done. And
Right.
in my coaching, I make sure when I was at GC and the gears team, I am not going to hold back the gears. The gears are there for the athletes. I'm going to take the gears and I'm going to give it to the boys. Whatever comes, they're going to get it because it is theirs. I'm not going to put away anything. So I am that type of coach. I have that kind of relationship with my athletes, and they know that. They know that Mr. Mair always look up. If a boy come to me and say he needs lunch money, I'm not going to say to him, or he needs bus fare. I'm not going to say, wait, your mother, your parents didn't give you money this morning. No, I am just going to go in my pocket if I have it, and I'm going to give it to them. And that is how I live with my athletes.
I want to say something, John, and this is just to enforce what you have said a while ago, the type of person you are. Because
Right.
tonight you're on the program and you're at a wake. Some people don't know, but your background is very noisy because you're at a wake in Jamaica. And you're at this wake, and because we asked you to come on, and you're willing, to come and share because you want to empower others. We say, come on, it's a platform where we empower others. And despite you're out there, you could have easily said, guess what, Ian and Dennis, I can't make it because, we have a wait night and we have something. But you have seen this very important that you can
I
come
could
and
not.
share
I,
your
I
story.
could. I could not have, Ian. I could not have. I was asked. I was asked from last week to come on technical difficulties, and I'm telling you, it was a sleepless night. Sunday night last week, I felt so bad. Then I spoke to Dennis on, I think it was Monday, and I told him, sorry, I apologized to him. And I
Yeah.
said, I knew about this week, and we had arranged already for coming on tonight. And I said, I'm not going to call and say I can't make it. I have to find a way. So I tried my best to walk out of the way, out on the street, under the street light, to have this done.
Appreciate it,
That's
man.
what
Greatly
that's what I
appreciate
was
it.
gonna tell them, that you actually in Jamaica you could say you're putting yourself in danger, but known, you're well known in Jamaica. Everybody know you. Every street, every corner, they're supposed to know you. So we're not worried about you down there any at all. 'Cause Jamaica is a
Thank
safe
you.
place if people just know how to live among each other.
Yes,
But
yes.
with that, John, what I want to ask you is your philosophy when it comes on to discipline, academics, and the athletics in terms of balancing all of this among these young athletes. What's your philosophy
Right.
on those?
Right. When you talk about, that's me, man. That is me. I'm a no nonsense person. When I used to be at Beer, I set up a study hall. When they were finished training in the evenings, they would have to take a shower, have supper. After supper, everybody would have to report to the study hall for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Most of the girls came out in on what you call it when you do well in school, honor roll. They were on honor roll.
On a
Most of
roll.
Yeah,
the girls, and there's yes. And I always tell them that, listen, if we're doing this thing, we're doing this thing because we want to try and achieve a scholarship. And to get the scholarship, these are what you need. These are the subjects you need to get. So everybody try to work at these subjects to get these subjects so they can move on to a reputable institution instead of going to some places that them have to work and things rough with them and can't find food to eat. So I always put for that. When it comes on to the discipline, I'm not beating my chest. The other day I was on a what you call in Jamaica we call it on a corner with some guys, them drink them like a rum and thing. And a youngster came on, call him Breezy, like an Indian guy. And he came on and he said, Mr. Amir, wow. And some people said to him, where you know Mr. Amir from? And he said, what you mean? Well, me I go to JC, and my shirt out of my pants, As me glimpse Mr. Amir, I have a talk that you're crazy man. Right? And that is what I stand for. Discipline.
Yeah,
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 man.
yeah.
And
Awesome.
I was telling someone that at JC there was a youngster that I won't call his name. He won the class 200 meters. First year, class two, he won the 100 meters and the 200 meters. And he was supposed to get his schoolwork up, his grades up for the second year. Spoke to him about it, and he failed to get it up. And I went ahead and I scratched him from the second year. He didn't run a chance for the second year. And
Mm,
they went to everybody, prominent old boy, all kind of people telling them that. And I stuck out. I said, no, he's not going to run because I spoke to him about getting his grades up. And he refused to get it up. So he did not run his second year after taking the double the first year. And I am not the type of person believe in winning at all cost. Not at all. Not at
mm-hmm.
all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Thanks and standard where you set, man. Those are standard that we have to really put on we put from early.
Without that, we're not getting any. Of course. Of course. Right? School kids not going to answer me. It's yes, sir, no, sir. Right? That's how we work. I remember again, I'm not going to call the school name. A teacher said to me, say, Mr. Amir, how when me have 20 something and 30 boys in class, me can't get them to behave and me come out at evening time and watch a train with all these boys. Them so well behaved and but you set the tone, you make sure so you have it under control from day one and they know what
From
is
day
expected
one.
of you.
From day
Yes.
one. Yes.
Yep.
If you don't
Yep.
have it on day one, you lose them.
Can't yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be your answer for the next question I'm going to ask you. Are there any common mistakes young coaches make? And what advice would you give them?
Well, you have a lot of young coaches who for some reason they don't listen. They think they know it all. You know, as much as I'm in this thing for 36 years, and I walk around and I pick brain, even the youngest of coach, right? How you do that, or why you do it like that, and I try to learn. Never too old to learn.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that drives me mad is some of these coaches that mess around the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is what drives me mad. I am totally against that, right? We can't be left with the kids as parents and then we behaving. So, and Dennis, you know what I'm talking about. That is
Mhm.
what drives me crazy. But other than that, I'm enjoying the coaching. I'm loving it. And I the other day a youngster called me and we're there talking, and him say, Mr. Mayor, say if it wasn't for you, would I be a crook in Jamaica now, right? And he went on again and he said, Samir, say I have no time when training you, so finish. And we are jumping in your vehicle. You're the only man we carry go after tree because the rest of the man and run out of them can't answer with foot smell funny, right? And I mean, I
Mhm.
don't go out there and do these things to be friends with athletes, but just do it
Right.
to be good to the youngsters, to assist the guys. Some of them don't have bus fare in the evening because they take it and they buy a little juice and so forth. So,
Mhm.
youngsters always show me appreciation. One the other day sent me a text telling me thanks for all that I've done for him. And it makes me feel good. Makes me feel real good. Yep.
Yeah. I always I've worked in the school system for many years as well, and um, I couldn't understand why some teachers taught in school for like 30 years and 40 years. But after I was in there, then that was when I realized, because what happened is when you have one kid, say in seventh grade or eighth grade, maybe two, and you just want to see that kid excel and make it through to graduation. But before they get into a 10th grade, you have another two that's coming behind. And while they move up, you have another
And
two coming behind. And
yes,
then you have
yes,
another two coming behind. And before
yes.
you know it, you spend 30 years there. Yeah.
Yep, yes. Yeah. But
So
another thing again, is I just say that is that some of these or most of these athletes very ungrateful. Yeah, man. Very, very,
mm,
very ungrateful. These kids, you would feed these kids, you give them bus fare, they moved on. Yes, they come down to Jamaica to compete at the national trial. And they see you. And
they don't even
it's
look
like
at you, man.
they look through you, like they don't know you.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And I am not one that going to say hi to you. I'm just going to walk by you or I don't see you. Yeah, because I'm not seeking anything from you. You understand me? But they are
right.
very, very ungrateful.
Grateful. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Is it, do you find it easier to coach boys as opposed to
No,
girls?
no. The girls, the girls, the girls are far more mature and focused.
Interesting.
Far more mature and focused.
Mm. Because I know, from what I have heard, is that you'll find out that I thought that from what I heard is that it is much there are some coaches that rather coach boys because they don't have to go through that emotional situation with the girls and with boys and their monthly thing going on and all that type of things.
But all right. Dennis, I can't recall ever having a problem with any girls that I've coached complain about their monthly thing.
Mm,
Never. They're always out at training. Never. And I'm not lying. Always there doing their work and getting in the work. Never had a problem.
nice, nice. All right, we're coming closer to the end of the questions that we have here. We're going to talk about what is it that kept you going through the tough times. I know if during tough times it could be injuries, losses, or doubt. What kept you
Well,
going during the tough time?
you see, I went through tough times, so I can handle tough times because I I stepped out of track and field I would say an early age because I was doing well when I left track and field, and the reason for that was because I developed a hamstring problem that just every time I'm training and I'm doing well and I'm getting ready now to do my speed work, pop, the hamstring goes again. So I decided that hey, can't be bothered. So when coaching and this happens, you feel sorry for the athlete themselves. you sit and you talk to them, and especially if they're young, you let them know that boy, they still have some time, and you bounce back. You try and I mean, treatment here in Jamaica is so costly. I visit at the last time I visit at the physiotherapist is $6,000 for one visit. So it's very costly. So you maybe have them go about at maybe 3 visits, and then you do what you can do with some rubbers to help them straighten the area, or a little home remedy that you have, and do what you have to do. But tough times don't bother me. I'm a very spiritual man, I'm a church man, and I don't let those things bother me at all. Critics, I don't worry about critics. Just move on and ignore critics.
Well, I mean, John, I know you from a long time, so critics. I know that that's never a problem for you.
Right,
Never a
right.
problem for you. So I know that for a fact. Um, all right, so we just have a few more questions, but I'm going to just step away from the question that I have and ask you what. Okay, so we know Dr. Neil Gardner had gone on to further his studies and became a doctor in a very unique and special area that I know will be beneficial to the athletes. Um, from what I understand is that he was supposed to the IOC take care of his expenses and he was supposed to come back and make a meaningful contribution. Why is it that the J3s, and I don't know if you can answer this question, but why is it that the J3s is not using him the way he could be used, especially international athletes?
That's a question I cannot answer, Dennis.
Yeah, I know
I
you did.
I learned of that the other day. I don't know what had happened, and it was he that was saying something. It's the other day I learned about that, but all of that. I didn't know that they had IOC had paid for him to deal with the thing, and then he should have come back and given back to that. I didn't know anything. But
Mhm.
what I can tell you is that several occasions I tried to make an appointment. I know he's a very busy man,
Very.
very, very busy man.
Mhm.
Maybe you're down the road, maybe 3 months time, and before you can see him and all of that.
Because
But he's
yes.
very busy, taking up with a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, and I think I remember they had a function where they were honoring. I know Mr. Olivier was honored at that function, and he was the guest speaker for that function, and I think
Yes.
he used that opportunity to talk
To speak
about.
about it. I was
Yes,
there. Yes. Yep.
yes, he used the opportunity to speak about it, and so on. And
Yes.
the Bible talks about without vision the people perish, and I think you know I know we probably can leave that for another time because that's going to be a long discussion. Looking back at on your career so far, what is it that you're most proud of?
My the other day I look back at the picture of me leading the Jamaica team with the national flag, and that's my proudest moment. I think that was at the
Mhm.
Commonwealth Games in Canada, and my World Championship bronze medalist. Those are my two top tiers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. What is one of the biggest lessons you have learned as a coach?
I that whenever you plan and whatever you plan to do not watch the detractors. Just stay focused and do what you have in mind. Um, there are times when, as a coach, like sometimes the last place I won't say where before I went up to to Wolmer's, I began not to enjoy or love coaching anymore, and I was where I'm at now. I'm with Bert and Cameron, and I was saying to Bert, I said, Bert, you know that I can't look forward to go for Monday to come to go back to Wolmer's. This this appetite had left me but where I was, for some reason. I am in track and field coaching because I want to build the holistic person, a youngster that can go out there and be an example out there who coming from a poor background, coming from nothing and achieve a lot. And when I'm coaching and an individual is doing well, I like to say the individual is doing well. I do not like to beat my chest and say, me coach him, no, no, no. And I'm not into the thing where, yes, I am the sprint coach. You have the hurdles coach. There's no way I can be coaching a youngster for 3 days, 4 days, because I'm there with him on Saturday. And a hurdles coach come in on 2 days, and you're taking the guy and taking all the credit. Say, my boy, me coach this boy, and I'm not into that. It's us. It's a collective effort, right? And I'm always saying, and sometimes when I talk to people, so why you say that? And when I'm with my assistant coach or anybody, and I say we. I must say, no man, we are you, man. I said, no. I said the person that cooks in the kitchen, they contribute because if the nutrition not good, he wouldn't do what he do or she would not have done what she did. So everybody deserves to be credited, right? But I cannot take these coaches that beat them chest and them, me and my boy and all that. Not at all.
Hey, John.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Someone who coached at the schoolboy level for years. What it is that you think Jamaica need to do to continue producing world-class athletes as we have been doing over the years?
Well, let me tell you something, man. Kudos to Coach Glenn Mills and Coach Stephen Francis and his brother Paul and Mr. Maurice Wilson by GC Foster, But I was saying to someone, and Dennis, we can remember, when we attended the major games and we finished, the games finished, and we were able to come back with maybe 1 gold medal or maybe 2 gold medals.
Yeah.
When now these 3 gentlemen, especially Stephen Francis, since they have gotten in this club thing, they are doing so well that we are beginning to come back home with 12 or more medals, which is a very good thing. Because thank God for America, thank God what America did for us. But I used to listen to the commentators, and I listen. They love to say, yes, coached at Tennessee or coach in America. Or coach. Now when I see our own being coach here in Jamaica, yes, they don't even mention that. They don't mention that. So it makes me feel real good and proud that we as a nation can stay here and make international and top world ranked world record holders in the world.
All right. Thank you very much. Love the way you answer that question. And I'm just gonna piggyback from something that you said earlier. You said, based on where you weren't feeling it. No, you're going back to Woolmers and you kind of get excited again. But my question is, what excites you the most about taking on the challenge of leading that Woolmers team?
Many reasons. One of the main reasons is that the men, the gentlemen, the coaching staff that is there are very good friends of mine. I've known these gentlemen for about over 20 years. The head coach there now used to be my pole vault coach when I was at JC, and we went to Jamaica College together. And the other coaches are coaches that I've known as friends. So I'm far more relaxed, far more comfortable, and I'm not looking forward for any backstabbing and stabbing in the back, because it's terrible out here. It is terrible out here. You have people who, because they want certain position or because they smile with you and behind you, they stab you in the back. So we have to be very careful of who we have around us.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I
So
get away from that.
Dennis, I'm gonna have you take it out in terms of closing. But I just wanna say, Mr. Muir, thank you for showing up tonight. Thank you for empowering the youth
Then
of Jamaica when it comes down to athletics. Thanks for your service, being a sprinter, being an Olympian. Thank you for everything. And Dennis, thanks for tonight. But just take it out. You have the last moment with John and two of them know our virgin, so take it out.
okay, Ian, thank you, man. Thanks, man. All right.
Yeah, I just gonna ask you probably maybe one or two more questions. And these are mostly fun questions. Um, who are some of your favorite Jamaican athletes, past or present? And it
Eh,
mustn't just based on it mustn't just based on their talent or character.
Dennis, Dennis, all you see back then during your time, all of you,
Mm.
man. I just loved all of you, man. All of you are my favorite, man. Back in the 80s, 90s, man. It was a joy, It was. I mean, remember the days we sit and we play domino, we play ludo, we play everything, and we lived like a family. We don't
Yeah.
have no animosity. It was joy. I loved everyone here. These new set boy. I don't know what to say. I don't know if it's because the money has gotten big in it or what, but it's a great difference of no love, honestly.
Yes, and I think a lot of that has to do with um again the J Trays and the JOA. They they don't find it fit to get the athletes, past and present athletes, together to intermingle. Because a lot of the athletes don't even know who I am. They don't even know who Michael Green is. They don't know who Wayne Watson is. You know what I mean? They don't have any function. They don't have anything that would pull us together
Dennis,
in a one
Dennis,
set.
if I tell you, sorry to cut in, if
Yeah.
I tell you that I have been on track team, I have been coaching teams, and I know the names of boys, and boys are there. I go there and say boys. I go and say a team, and boys don't know the other person team. All he knows is his nickname, right?
Mm,
They say Dennis.
mm,
They say, where find Dennis Blake? Sir, who name so? Because I know Dennis as Ratty or some nickname, and it's a shame,
mm.
brethren. Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's a big shame. But again, we would like to have the J3's president here and Real Talk Real Money. We'd also like to have the JOA president here and Real Talk Real Money, because we know that we have some questions that people are thinking and they are either afraid to ask or they don't get the opportunity. And here we'll
Right.
ask those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, we really appreciate you coming on Real Talk Real Money with Ian and Dennis. Thank you very
Anytime, Dennis.
much.
Anytime, man. And thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. All right. Take good
Yeah,
care of
man.
yourself now. All right
Yeah,
then.
man. Thank you.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right, Dennis.